Okay, welcome to Universal Corriday. My name is Corriday. I am... gotta psych myself up for this because it takes ages to psych myself up. Why am I not psyched? You know what? This is just gonna be an open and plain video. Usually I try to psych myself up, make myself feel like, yeah, I really want to record a video. But the truth is, I don't want to record a video. I don't even know why I'm here, aside from the fact that I got this really cool trophy from being on a quiz show. Now the reason I'm looking down here is because this is where there's this viewfinder, so I can see myself here. The camera doesn't have that, so I can't see what I look like on the camera if I'm not looking at the screen down here, which is frustrating. Probably need to sort that out, but that's not going to happen right now. These videos are just going to be very down to earth. So here goes. So a year ago, so a whole year, I was on BBC's Pointless with one of my brothers and we won. This is the trophy which you get for getting through to the final round, but you also get cash. Now the cash is long gone because it wasn't that much, but the trophy, well, hopefully that will last a lifetime. It's a very nice trophy. Glass. I do wonder how they make it actually. I should ask. But yeah, I'm gonna go over the kind of process of being on a TV show, what it's like. So, decided a couple of years ago I wanted to fulfill some stuff on my bucket list. One of those things was being on a TV show. Now, Pointless is a TV show, quiz show that I love, and so I thought this will be the TV show that I will be on to cross that off my bucket list. And what was the process? Simple. Google BBC Pointless, came up with a website about how to apply. I applied, my brother had to do an application form as well. Then, within a week of doing the application form, we both had a phone call from a casting staff member from Pointless who took us through some questions about why we applied, as well as giving us a little bit of a quiz. I think of the 10 questions, I probably got 5 to 7 right. I'm not sure how many my brother got right, but that was it. After that, they said we'd passed that stage. The next stage was an audition, an online audition, which was done via Skype. Very straightforward. There were about 4 different pairs. So my brother, myself, and then 3 other pairs of people who were auditioning for the show. And it was very similar to Pointless. So Pointless is a BBC TV show where the aim of the show is to actually get the lowest scores possible. Questions are taken and put out to a poll of the general public, and the aim is that you give an answer, the contestant gives an answer that the fewest of the 100 that were polled knew. So the first question that we were asked was around rearranging a word to make it into another word. I think the word was something like marked. Change one letter in marked and make a new word. And you're trying to make a word as obscure or unknown by the 100 as possible. So my brother was the one who took that question. He got a decent score. Then it was my turn, and it was a music question, which is not something I'm particularly great at when it comes to general knowledge. I'm good at a lot of things, but that's not one. And it was about name songs or name lyrics from Robbie Williams' I'm Loving Angels Instead that are 4 or 5 letters long or longer. I gave an incorrect answer. So not only did I not get a score of 0, which is what you're aiming for, I got the highest possible score, which is not a good thing, it's the opposite. Somehow, they still liked us because after that we did a interview with the casting staff, again, still online as part of that online audition, and we passed. And then we were offered some dates in October or November, which my brother wasn't able to do because of work commitments, and then we didn't actually then get onto the show until January. So to give an idea of the application process, applied in September, late September, early October, did the first interview about a week later after applying, did the online audition about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that, and then got to the show in January. Now the show itself was fantastic. So Pointless paid for your travel from wherever you live to the studio in Elstree in London. So that's giving you, actually organising your train fare. Like they'll ask you, can you take this train from this time to this time, and that's what they did. So then they'll send you the details for the train tickets. So that's what happened for both myself and my brother. And then from the station you could just walk. But I'm sure if you needed to get cab fare, they would have probably organised that, but that wasn't an issue for us. And then we didn't get on to our first show until about, what time was it? 2 maybe, even though we arrived at about 12:30. So we arrived about 12:30. We had our own dressing room shared, me and my brother, which was amazing. It literally made us feel like we were stars. There was the whole like mirror that's got lights around it, had our own ensuite bathroom. They gave us some snacks as well, or lunch, which was sandwich and crisps and a drink. And then yeah, we went on to, we used the like 12:30 to 2 period of time to just practice some quiz questions together, which was actually really good. I think it helped us to relax and have fun and be ready for it. And then we went on to our first show. Now the first show, I was first up, and it was an interesting process because pointless, the jackpot starts at 1,000, but it can roll over if people don't win it. I was hoping that the jackpot would be several £1,000s, but when we got into the show, it was £1,000, and I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. And so when the first question came up, which was something along the lines of name English cities or cities in the UK that contain certain letters, I literally just made one up, and it turned out it was not just right, it was the lowest score out of everyone who gave an answer there. So that was really good. And the reason I did that was because I kind of was disappointed with money. So if we didn't win that game, I thought maybe the second game we go on to, it will roll over and it'll be higher. But then we went through, and we ended up going all the way out to the final round. And in the final round, the round before the final round, it was us against another team, and they beat us by just 1 point. And so they went through to the final, which was fantastic. No complaints there. They were better overall. I will say that I think in the back of my mind, I wasn't that fussed because I knew we could come on for a second show. And so we leave that first show, and my brother and I are both so ecstatic, so excited, because I don't know, I knew we could win, but it's just the fact that we got all the way to the final on our first show, and you get 3 attempts, 3 shows that you can be on. And so we were like, okay, if we got to the final on the first attempt, that's a great start. And so from there, we went back to the dressing room again, just really, really excited, just joking and laughing about how much fun it had been. My brother laughing that he thought I'd given a completely wrong answer. Me saying I thought it was a wrong answer myself, I was just making it up. But it turned out that we then had to wait about an hour or so before we went back onto our second show. Now the second show we were on, we were told, it was again still the same day, we were told that it was the last show of the day. And I think my brother and I both looked at each other like, yeah, we don't want to come back in like 2 weeks, because that's what they told us. It'd be 2 weeks before we could come back to do our third show. And this was January. It's cold in London, it's cold in the UK in January. I'm not trying to go back to the studio 2 to 3 weeks later just to potentially win. Nope. So I think we both were in the mindset we need to win this show. And so that show, we went to the final round, and yep, you guessed it, we won that second show, which was fantastic. We didn't have to go back for a third show. We won the second show. And I think mindset is something that I've realised in life is so important. I think my brother doubted that we could win the show, but I was always in the mind that we are going to win. We are going to win. There wasn't a lack of certainty for me about our ability to win the show or whether we would win the show. I just thought that we would absolutely do it. And I think that's something I've noticed in life that almost always works. That certainty and belief. Even if it doesn't plan out that you win, I think it makes a huge difference in how you approach something. If you go there thinking you've already lost, then the likelihood is that you will lose. So again, I've got this memento for life now. As I said, the money is long gone because it came out to about £625 each. was how much we won in total, which fundamentally went to pay bills. On the show, I said I was going to use it to go to the Australian Open, but I don't even think a flight to Australia can be covered by £625, let alone buying the tickets to go to Australia Open and then also paying for accommodation and transportation costs. But hey, it's a dream that will continue to go on. I think if I was giving any tips for anyone who was interested in being on a TV show or TV quiz show or just doing well in the quizzes, I think practice makes perfect. I spent a good amount of time before the show practicing many different quizzes online. So there's a website called Sporkle.com. There's so many different quizzes on that. I covered history, geography, some politics, pop culture, celebrities. I even tried to do some music, not that that made a huge difference, and thankfully no music questions came up. But if they had, I'm sure somehow, some way, we would have found a way to make it through and ace it. So yeah, I think this is just me coming on here to talk about being on a TV show, talking about sometimes if you have a bucket list idea and something you want to do, just try your hand at it. You don't lose anything in general, as long as you're maintaining your safety and your health. I think those are the most important things. And then from there, just laying a plan out to make that bucket list thing happen. So I still have a bunch of things on my bucket list that I want to do, but being on TV now and winning a TV quiz show has partly been ticked off. There's still a few other TV quiz shows that I'm interested in going on, and hopefully I'll have the chance to do so, but time will tell. Yeah, and so if you just want to connect, drop some comments, say what you found interesting. I'll put a link to the episode that we won in the comment section, and yeah, if anyone has any kind of questions or queries about being on BBC Pointless, being on TV, that I may be able to help, just put it in the comment section and I will do my best to answer those questions. Awesome.
Let's find out how many of our 100 people said Swansea City. It's right. We kind of knew it was right. It just has to be pointless. Let us find out if it will be pointless. £1,250 riding on this. A meal out, a trip abroad. Swansea City was a pointless answer. You are taking home a jackpot of £1,250. You are taking home at least £1,250. But the important point is you won today's jackpot of £1,250.